I've been driving in my car. Well, the manual says to change the clutch cable, first remove the upper dash. Dead simple. About 2.5 hours after I'd restarted, I got it out. Dead simple. Yeah. No, I wouldn't advise that. If you want to change the clutch cable on the City Bug and Aygo C1 or 107, don't take either parts of the dashboard out. It's a nightmare. What you do is you disconnect the clutch cable from the clutch and then rattle the pedal backwards and forwards and it jumps out. Then you pull it through the bulkhead. Make sure you fit a genuine one. Don't fit it to the clutch first. Fit it to the pedal. Push the cable through the hole in the bulkhead. And if you hold the pedal, put a brick under it, or if you're lucky, it'll just drop into position in the pedal. Then you pull the pedal back to tighten it and fasten it to the other end. Dead easy. But don't get a non-genuine one, because it won't be long enough and it won't reach. And I spent hours working that one out. Yeah, if you want to change the clutch cable on a Citroen C1, a Peugeot 107, or I would think the Toyota Aygo is exactly the same, do not take the dashboard out. It's an absolute nightmare. Yeah, well, I'm trying to take the lower dash out. Anyway, there is something holding it, as usual. Yeah, it's a nightmare. Pretty good them beams, aren't they? Yeah, fasten things to them. Like dashboards. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what that unit does, but there's something bolted to it. Another unit, it's not a diesel multiple one, but I mean, you have to get a spanner onto the back of that hole, which is in a recess, and there's a flipping wiring harness, cable tied onto there. So if you cut the cable tie, and then you can get in with a socket, any socket, get it on. There's no Phillips screwdriver socket on that bolt. You've got to take it out with a socket, and because it's a self-tapper into plastic, like the speaker kit, the speaker mounting bolts and stuff, you can't take it out with your fingers. You've got to take it out with either a screwdriver or a spanner, and that one you can't use a screwdriver because it doesn't go a screwdriver socket in. And that's another one. That's dead easy. And of course, put two bosses for screws right next to each other, so you don't know which is which, just to confuse you. Nice and easy. Oh yeah, dead easy to take the dashboard out. Like, not, because obviously that clip, I just broke it in the end, because as you can see, they have clips on and they just stretch when you're trying to take them out. So that one, or have I broken that? I don't know. Well, I'll fasten it back in somewhere. I think I've damaged that unit wherever it is. Oh yeah, I took the speedo out for a laugh, and now I'm taking the dashboard out for a laugh, because I'm riff-raff. I know, I don't know. It's great fun. It's an experience that you don't want. Do you know what I think I'll do with this car? I'll take it to bits and sell the parts. Well, it's a Mark 1, the parts from are dead rare. But that's the thing, it's a Mark 1, they're dead rare in running order. I had an 05 which was 6 months older than this, and I've said it all before. It was written off in an accident. It had done 54,000 miles, this had done 107, it's still okay. But the only reason I bother with this is because it was my late father's and he gave me it. Otherwise I'd have scrapped it years ago. If it was mine, I wouldn't have bothered with it. Well, I would have, because I'm a loony. Well, I like doing things like this. It's just fun, isn't it, really? And I've taken the bolt out the other end there and I didn't need to. Or did I? I can't remember. And that bolt there, absolute nightmare. You have to put a, well, best thing to do is put a power bar under the upper dash, lever it up. You probably break it, but then you can get to that with a spanner. Open-ended, or I have a ratchet ring spanner somewhere. Is that the, yeah, as you can see, it's falling apart. They're handy, they're useful until they fall apart, or the ratchet breaks. I don't know what's happened to that, but it's had it. I might need it to put the dashboard back in, if I ever do. Well, that's the thing, that one's scratched, and this may be a classic one day, this car, because they were better value than the Aygo and the C1. I think these are going to be classics, particularly early models of 107s, or possibly L107s. They're a very good deal, and well, they're all economical. They're all cheap to insure, and I don't know. Aygos were a lot more than the rest, and they can't be much better than these. These were the deal. These are the real deal. And like I said in the Peugeot guys, you see loads of 107s. They didn't have to lie. It was true. You did. As soon as they came out, we're having them. They're good. But yeah, it will be a classic one day. This probably more so than anything big or expensive, because they're just too expensive to run. I mean, I was talking to a young man recently who had a Range Rover. I said, how much do that cost? I wouldn't like to pay for one of them. And I said to him, they're an awful lot to insure these. What's this for me? With a few years no claims, about 145, I think, is it a year fully comp. And he was telling me his Range Rover was £2,000 a year to insure. That's more than this is worth. But you got to do something to make yourself happy. And well, I was saying to somebody not so long ago, this cat's going to get my mouth washed out with soap. Because actually I've said things today, well, that my nana wouldn't have said. And me and a friend were, when I first came here, we were looking at the stocks of the local village stocks, or the site of the village stocks, and it's saying that somebody was putting them for half a day, wasn't it? And they were pelted with rotten tomatoes and anything rotten or anything horrible or stones and stuff for a torrent of swear words. I'd probably said much worse today. I don't think anybody heard me because it's under my breath, but possibly did. What does that thing do? Oh, is it the heater? I don't know. Heater blower, possibly. The other one I had an aircon, but it broke, yes, as usual with aircon. Yeah, well, it's fun, isn't it? I mean, might have to take the steering column out to do the rest. That'll be fun. It's almost out with the lower dash. There's something old in it. I mean, eventually there was something old in the upper dash, and it was that flipping. But no, that was what was it? Obviously, one bolt that side, and two that side. Nice and confusing. And they're both difficult to get to. And don't even ask me about the flipping speaker mounting bolts. They're a nightmare. And I've got a flash radio, and I mean, so I was going to say, I always said a wireless, because that's what my mother would have called a radio wireless. And you don't need twin speakers in a car. We do if you want stereo. And the standard CD player that comes with these, it's stereo, but it only works through one speaker, so it's mono. I mean, it wants the original one in if it's ever going to be a classic, and I should have taken it out for. Don't want to get damaged. I need some idiot like me damaging it. I mean, I might damage this car too badly already. It's fun. I enjoyed it a bit, sort of. Yeah, and obviously you have to cut a load of this out to put the flash radio in. But they won't notice that when it's all back together. And yeah, it wants to see one glove box lid taken off, because that's not standard. It's sort of an add-on extra. They're handy though, because somebody said to me, "Oh, I'm not even having a 107 or any other type of City Bug." No, they haven't got a lid on the glove box so people can see what's in it. And so they bought a Ford car or a Fiesta, thousands of pounds more. Them glove box lids, they're about 20 quid, and you just screw them on or clip them on or something. I put that one on for my dad, because this was my dad's car when I did that. I just said, I got one of them, the next to note, you can have it. I'll put it on for your dad. And I had one on my 107, because this isn't my 107, it's my dad's. And I can't move that dash, and it's probably going to break that cover off. Yeah, as you can see, it's going white on the joint. It's going to split in it. It wants another one. I don't really bother. No, I'm not bothered where it's got a glove box lid. I don't use it much. Well, what do you put in glove box? Service history. Has this got a service history? No, I've serviced it. Well, I've only got a national and vehicle engineer, and I'm an idiot. Don't service cars, do you? Put oil in them. What they got oil in for? Nah, I've only got a national. I don't put oil in my car. I have a different idea. Well, I was told that college, the best lubricant for anything really is water. But you can't do that with an engine or anything else like that, because it rusts it. That's what they use on lathes and milling machines, or I don't know what they call them now. Yeah, we used to call it white water. That's the official term, because it has additives in it to make it lubricate better, and it turns it white. And that panel, dead easy to get off. You literally just pull down on it until it buckles, and then it'll literally pull out. Dead easy. There's no screws in them. They're dead easy to take out of them. And I don't know what it says in the Ends manual or on the videos on YouTube, but it's all wrong. You literally just pull it so it buckles slightly and it just comes out. Dead easy, that one. That one as well, you just pull that off. There's no screws in that. Anyway, I'll have to get on and do now for the rest of the day, because I'm worn out and it's only dinner time. It only took me 2 hours to get the upper dash out. How long does it take to fit a clutch cable? A proper one? 5 or 10 minutes. There's no way you should have to take the dashboard out, and you don't. So if you read the Hens manual or any other manual that tells you to take the dashboard out, just ignore it. It's bollocks.